One of the strategies you mentioned, Larry, was doing a demonstration to get the job.
Right.
How valuable is that? And maybe give us a tip or two on what cleaners can do to get that demonstration appointment.
Absolutely. You know, the hardest part is identifying the right client, making sure that you understand who your client is and what marketplace you're going into, getting into the right segments. Once you have the opportunity to get in and actually talk to someone, you can talk all you want about how great your service is, but really what it comes down to is how do you perform. And that's a visual that's ingrained in your customer. And so ultimately what I think the cleaner wants to do when he gets out on a job site to sell is to have an opportunity to say, look, we want to do a live demonstration. Once you have a live demonstration in place, it's like being on stage. It is something you need to orchestrate, you need to really understand, and we need to be able to go in advance. I'd go in about 45 minutes in advance. Be sure that you pick an area that's really cleanable. Don't pick the area right next to the freight elevator that's got massive coffee stains, because they probably aren't going to come out the first time. But pick an area that's reasonable. You know, it's soiled, it's going to have a huge appearance change, and I would go in, I would stage my equipment. Your equipment has to be perfectly clean. You've got to make sure it's all polished. Make sure if you have a hot water extraction machine there, that your dirty water tank is freshly cleaned. Do not use any deodorizers. Don't use any fresh scents or anything else. You've got to be clean and natural. They don't want to smell anything.
That brings me to another quick question before we leave today. You mentioned someone who did a demonstration had a little bit of a problem with their waste tank.
Yeah,
What
I've been in
happened
a
there?
situation where we spent 7 years trying to get in the door of a client. We get there, we set up the stage. I mean, my guys were in uniforms, they looked beautiful. Salesperson standing next to 3 people from the company, they're all in suits.
So you sold the job.
I sold the job. I'm so excited to get in there. We're doing this live demonstration. They turn on the machine after we've vacuumed, we've pre-sprayed, we've used a counter-rotating brush on it. Everything's looking really good. They flip on the machine. They had just come off a sewer cleanup job. And I mean, the odor was like, oh my goodness. Nonetheless, you should have seen the guys, the clients standing there going, are you guys serious? We not only lost the contract, they wouldn't talk to us for 2 years. So we kept working, we kept going, but we learned a huge lesson. You got to make sure everything is pristine, inside and out. There can't be any odor associated with the job. If there's anything going on that way, it's going to obviously count against you. We want to go through with this live demonstration, set up all of your equipment, make sure it's in great mechanical working order, have your technicians trained so they can clean a 10 by 10 area. I would actually tape it off with blue tape.
Okay.
Clean inside that taped area. Whatever processes you're going to use, go through the processes, hand brush the carpet, put in a diamond pattern, and then have an air mover or some way to quick dry it. Whatever unit you use on it, make sure it's dried very rapidly. The goal is to stand out and have a memorable experience so they can't forget the professional level of service they experienced with you.
Okay.
Once the carpet looks really great, you pull the tape up, you clean everything up, they get a chance to experience it, you thank them, you guys are packing up to leave, salesperson's staying behind, technicians are leaving. They're probably all going back to their office because you're doing this like at 5 o'clock at night. They're coming back out and they're looking at it. They're down touching it to see if it's dry. It's going to be dry.
Cool.
That's what a great experience is when you're doing this live demo, and it's memorable for the sales experience.
Okay. Great advice.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, Larry.
Absolutely.